The iPad mini has always been the smallest iPad, but also one of the most portable and personal devices in Apple's lineup. For years, it stayed quietly in the background, powerful enough for light tasks, but always missing some of the features seen on the iPad Air and iPad Pro. That all changes with iPadOS 26. This new update is more than just a coat of paint. It completely redefines how you use the iPad mini. Apple's marketing may focus on liquid glass, visuals glossy, blurry, rounded effects everywhere, but that's only the surface. The real power lies in the features under the hood. For the first time, the iPad mini finally gets the multitasking tools that were once locked behind more expensive models. Let's talk about liquid glass first. Yes, it's pretty. Yes, it makes the iPad feel a little more futuristic. But not everyone loves the way it looks. Some users feel like it's overdone. Icons seem too reflective. Backgrounds look too blurry. But here's the good part, it's optional. You can toggle it off or change how much of the liquid glass effect you actually see. So, if you hate the shiny look, you're not stuck with it. That's already a step in the right direction. Now let's talk about the big news, multitasking. For years, advanced multitasking like Stage Manager was only available on iPads with M-series chips. That meant iPad Pros and the newer Airs, the iPad mini, left out. But iPadOS 26 finally fixes that. Apple is unlocking Stage Manager, floating window support, and even window memory for older models including the iPad mini 5th generation and up. That's huge. Stage Manager gives users the ability to manage multiple apps in separate windows. This is different from traditional split screen. You're no longer limited to just 2 apps side by side. With Stage Manager, you can open 3, 4, even more apps at once, stacked or floating anywhere on the screen. It feels more like a real computer. You might think the iPad mini is too small for that kind of layout, and to some extent, that's true. The 8.3-inch screen doesn't give you the same space as a 30-inch iPad Pro, but what Apple did well here is give us flexibility. If Stage Manager feels too cramped, there's now another multitasking option. Windowed apps. Windowed multitasking is different. It lets you open any app as a small movable window like on macOS. You can resize it, place it anywhere on the screen, and stack it with others. And here's the cool part, every app remembers how you resized it. So if you closed a YouTube window while it was small, it will reopen at the same size next time. That kind of memory saves time and effort. This change also fixes a long-standing problem. Some apps, including YouTube and even Apple's own Settings app, didn't support split screen at all. Now you can resize them anyway. That means you can finally watch YouTube in a small floating window while writing notes, replying to emails, or browsing Safari without any third-party workarounds. If you've ever tried writing a script or planning content on the iPad mini, you probably know how limiting split screen can be. It's fine, but not flexible. Windowed multitasking changes that you can have your Notes app, browser, and video player all open at once. Rearranging is simple. Resizing is smooth. Everything feels more open, more customizable, and more efficient. And when you have too many windows open and you're not sure what's where, just swipe up. The Recent Apps view now gives you a full layout of every open window. It's like Mission Control on macOS, but designed for touch. That kind of control makes the iPad mini feel less like a tablet and more like a mini laptop. Speaking of macOS, Apple has brought over a few more features. First is the traffic light system. If you've used a Mac, you'll recognize the red, yellow, and green buttons at the top of every window. Red closes the app, yellow minimizes it to the dock, green toggles full screen. These now exist on iPad mini too. They work just like they do on Mac. You can even minimize an app into the dock and bring it back with a tap. No need to relaunch or lose progress. There's also the menu bar. Swipe down from the top or move your mouse to the top edge, and it appears right now. Most apps don't use it fully, but it's a consistent way to reach app settings and tools. That's one thing iPad apps have always lacked: consistency. This new menu bar helps fix that. Speaking of using a mouse, the cursor, that has changed too. It's no longer a round blob that morphs into different shapes. Instead, it's a proper pointer, more accurate, more precise, better for productivity. The Files app has also received a massive upgrade. It now works more like Finder on macOS. You can tag folders with colors. You can collapse and expand them. You can even assign default apps for opening specific file types. Plus, you can now pin folders to the dock for fast access. For people who use their iPad mini for school or work, this is a major win. And then there's the Preview app. For the first time, you can preview PDFs, images, and more with a single tap, just like on a Mac. It feels fast. It feels right. It's one of those features that makes you wonder why it wasn't there already. But of course, there are still some weird quirks. One of the biggest is the separation between the Files app and the Photos app. If you save an image in Files, it won't show up in Photos unless you manually save it again. That creates confusion. You're editing a photo and suddenly can't find it. Is it in Files, or is it in Photos? That disjointed experience still hasn't been solved. Even so, these changes add up. The iPad mini used to feel like a basic iPad with a smaller screen. Now it feels like a powerful, customizable tool. One you can carry in one hand but use like a laptop. You can write full scripts on it, edit PDFs, watch videos while managing files. And all of this is now possible without having to buy a Pro or Air model. For creators, students, or anyone who values portability, the iPad mini with iPadOS 26 might be the most useful version yet. It's lightweight, fast, and now just as feature-rich as the rest of the iPad lineup. To be clear, this is still the first public beta. There are bugs. Performance can stutter, especially when using the new animations, blurs, and transitions. But those are Polish issues. The core features are here, and they are working. So, while Apple may have marketed iPadOS 26 with shiny liquid glass themes, the real story is the transformation of the iPad mini. It's no longer a device for casual reading or Netflix. It's a device for doing a device that finally plays on the same field as the iPad Pro and Air, just in a smaller form.